I'm Linda Bamber Olson, the inventor of Wavewatch, and I'm so glad you're joining me today. I wanted to share some information about how you can start your health journey with First Wave, one of the most important folders on the Wavewatch. I just want to share some ideas about how important frequencies are and what we're finally pulling together. So this is a very important slide, and I put a lot of information in it just so you'd have it if you want to refer to it. But this is a slide from Stanford Med, and what they were able to do was take a picture of heart cells that they had manipulated with sound frequencies. The sound of our voice from 20 to 20,000. So each one of those little squares shows how that cell changes when it is manipulated with a different frequency. So frequencies are everything. Of course, our body is responding to frequencies around us. And then here's another idea that I think everybody should know, and it actually came from Tesla. So Tesla told us over 100 years ago that there is something called mortal oscillation rate. And he used resonance, just the measurement of a frequency for particular pathogens. So we're talking about parasites and viruses and bacteria. They all have their own unique frequency. And when you use the resonant frequency, which is a fancy word for saying the same frequency, and those two frequencies meet by some means, then they will self-amplify and basically fall apart or blow up or kill or die or whatever word you'd want to say. But two frequencies that are the same setting in parasite or virus plus meeting the frequency from the Wavewatch can have an interaction in your body, according to Tesla. Then this is what frequencies look like. I am fascinated by this. This is a whole look of sound. So we have a new science called Cymatics, and it is the vision of sound. So this to me is what we're not seeing as we sit around and all the sound is around us. Each sound that comes through has its own look. So these are different sounds that they were able to visualize using something called Cymatics. And we just have to think just a little bit more to have fun with this, because I took these pictures in Colombia, and I'm sure many of you have seen old churches that have windows like this, but doesn't this window look exactly like the sound image that we saw previously? So what we're saying and what they are saying is that they have measured the insides of churches, and that each one of them has its own frequency. So they did have to do some different, technology to amplify that frequency so that they could measure it. But yes, you sat inside a church, and we all know we're feeling the frequency of God, but they could measure so many other frequencies that were from the structure of the church. And these frequencies tended to be frequencies that soothed you or healed you or, changed your system, rebalanced you, and that kind of an idea. So those are just a few little ideas that I think are so fun that I wanted to share about before I introduce the Wavewatch, because people do tend to be skeptical about some different technology. But the Wavewatch has simple technology on it. It's acoustical frequencies, the sound of our voice again. So it comes in two different colors. You can get a rose gold or a graphite, and it comes in an analog or a regular digital type watch. It's very important for us to know that. We have a disclaimer because these are low risk acoustical frequency products. They're in the general wellness category, and they're designed to support self-care and overall wellness. It's not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. It's not an FDA approved or classified as a medical device, as frequencies are still considered experimental. Needed to cover that with you, pretty important, as we are a general wellness product. And then this is just a view of what the Wavewatch looks like when you get it. And in a minute, I'll be showing you some of the different frequencies and ideas about the Wavewatch. So you'll get directions. You'll have a really nice zip case to put the Wavewatch in, to store it, to travel with it. because this is a tool that you should travel with. It simplifies things, cuts down on traveling with lots of bottles, and makes it easy to use and share with other people. So it also comes with its own charging cord, a screen protector, and a different wristband, a Velcro wristband, if that's of interest to you. And then here's a vision of the frequencies that are on the Wavewatch. And I know this might be a little small to see, but what I'm telling you is I actually packed 24,000 frequencies into this little watch that you wear on your wrist, and your body is just absorbing it through a speaker that's on the back of the watch. And so one cell will start to vibrate, and then the next cell vibrates, and then it just zips through your body very quickly. And that's because Candace Pert told us in the 1980s that every cell has about 70 receptors. And so those receptors will start to vibrate first and again zip through your body. So we have different ideas for you, and I'll be sharing those more in just a minute, but that's what your basic information sheet looks like. So again, I took those 24,000 frequencies, I put them into 1,100 acoustical frequencies, and then actually combined them one more time into about 145 folders or frequency sets. That makes it very, very simple. And then all you need to do is find a frequency you're interested in from the descriptive label, and then tap that folder and play it. So that's what we're telling you. Frequencies can go through your body very quickly. So that young gal went from lots and lots of pain all over her body to basically better than she had felt in years in about 20 minutes. So this is what I'm going to tell you about today. So the most important things that I want to share, if I can go fairly quickly, in this folder right here that we labeled First Wave. We tried to make it easy. First Wave. This is the Wavewatch. This is what we want you to play first. So Wave Relief is what the young gal who gave the testimony was just playing. And so that's basically an idea for swelling and joint stiffness, pain, if I can say that word, and lots of problems with your joints. So that is a very important folder. It has done lots and lots of good very quickly for people. Then we also want to tell you about Lyme, Lyme Wave, Parawave, Wave Defense, and Wave Detox. So again, those are all of the ideas in the first folder that is the most important to play. So again, we are trying to help mitigate many different ideas. So Wave Relief, I've already kind of explained that one. But one of the most important folders, I believe, is called Lyme Wave. And that really is a response to working with Lyme disease. Now, I'm not saying this cures anything or, takes care of any problems. It's just we're trying to work with it. So it's for lymphatic support and overall body wellness in response to Lyme. Now, I'm going to be honest and share with you why this is so important. They have found Lyme disease in every single body fluid, but they do not bother to tell us that. And so basically we have a pandemic going on that we have not even been informed about. And I try to tell people that when I'm flying on an airplane, the most important thing that I do is play Lyme Wave so that I'm protecting myself against all of those toxins in the air, because again, it's found in every single body fluid. They neglect to tell us that there are whole families, that one person in the family had Lyme disease and then they all have it. But there are 300 different ideas or diseases that are attached to Lyme disease now. So everybody in the family picks up a different disease and they're not piecing it all together. So again, whole families are getting Lyme disease. Sometimes it's just that it's passed back and forth sexually, and again, they are not telling us that. So Lyme is something, the Lyme Wave folder is something that I would like people to play to protect themselves, and especially if you have these problems that nobody's been able to identify, that's why this is so important. Another really important idea is Parawave, and that's actually for support for parasites. And again, we are not told much about parasites, but we are seeing time and time again that, wow, they're now saying that parasites could be connected to cancers. We're seeing pictures on the internet of people that supposedly have the C word in their brain, and voila, they're pulling out a parasite when they do some in-depth work on it, and that just scares people to death. So here is something that you can wear around, and you can wear it at night to bed, or you can be wearing it during the day when you're working or somewhere when you're driving. It's a very portable tool. And so you could be playing this particular folder to just protect yourself, especially after you've gone for a walk on the beach or your pets licked you. You know, we're prone to parasites. So they come back time and time again. So continue to play this folder to just give yourself some extra protection. And then another one that I really like that I put in for you that is very important is Wave Defense. And this is a folder that I previously have worked with a lot, and it was labeled pathogens. And it's basically for defense in a lot of types of microorganisms that are, again, connected to that C word, that are so important. There are known studies done on E. coli, Epstein-Barr virus, schistosoma parasites, and the list of is endless of different pathogens that are connected to many, many health problems. So this is just an overall way that you just touch a button and you can actually play through all of these ideas from start to finish. So it makes it really easy for you to do. And that's how important it is. I got one more idea to cover with you on the first wave, and that's why I call it first wave. That's what you want to do to protect yourself to start with. And this is called Detox, Wave Detox. And we do have this one. We were able to divide that one into 3 different categories. So one is more for chemicals, and obviously you've heard a lot about the chemicals that we have in our environment, and even from the skies, possibly, if you're aware of that, in the air, all kinds of food. They're saying that we have 85,000 different chemicals that our body is supposed to be taking care of every day. So don't you think we need some help and support? So that's why I'd like to suggest that you actually wear the Wavewatch and just play this randomly at different periods of time, but hopefully at least once a week. And then environmental support. We are surrounded by all kinds of EMFs and radiation, and that's what this one is particularly made for. So that could be helpful for that, environmental factors. And then another really big detox is for heavy metal or metal support, and to help our body rid itself of different heavy metals. And this could be so important because so many people are beginning to worry about the toxins that we have absorbed from many different sources. So I think that's why this folder that I named First Wave is one of the most important things to play, and very, very important. That's why it's labeled First Wave. So get that in your mind and play that at least once a week. And again, all you're doing is just touching a button and pressing it and carrying through. It will play for about 8 hours. Now, if you'd like to know a little bit more about the Wavewatch or some of the frequencies, you can just go to our website and type in different ideas about the Wavewatch and play, or ask the robot, the frequency finder, if XYZ, metal clarity is on the watch and where it's at, and it does tell you that. So that's very important because sometimes people have a very unique problem that they're interested in, and it would give you some ideas and particular places where that would be good to play that. This is an image that shows the first wave ideas. So all you have to do is turn the watch on and it comes up to this particular folder. And I'm suggesting that you play First Wave. So once you touch First Wave, it actually opens up to this screen, and then you touch a button and it will actually start to go through those one after the other. So again, you'll have about 8 hours of playtime, and that will give you a lot of support for your body in different types of ideas and circumstances that I think are very, very necessary that everyone should become aware of. Now, another reason I love the Wavewatch is because there are no EMFs on it. It's very easy to use. It's drug-free. There are no side effects. I should say, somebody has had nausea. I should qualify that just a little bit, but nothing like we're talking about for long-term side effects like we have noticed with some other different products that people have taken over the years that we seem to be sometimes addicted to, or that we need to take every day. So it's very cost effective, and it's useful for everyone, even your dogs and your pets. I've had people send me pictures of horses and a duck. So you can do lots of things with the Wavewatch and be creative because it's very, very easy to use. So thanks for joining me on this and taking a deeper look at the Wavewatch and a few ideas that it can be very helpful for.